There's something very endearing about the sights and sounds of the carnival. Maybe it's nostalgia, but for me, there's one ride that will always have its special place in my heart. The popcorn, the cotton candy, the people, the sights, the sounds. The sounds, wait, what's making those sounds? Where did this all begin? No, this is too soon, even further back. Ah, yes, this is the place. Year of our Lord, 1646. Dutch field workers currently have no way of telling time. One day goes into the next, equally grueling and long. Bell towers are only used to signal things in case of emergencies and require multiple people to operate. But there is one man who will change all of this and spark a whole new industry for music and sound. A man by the name of Pieter Gemoni, in partnership with Jacob van Eyck. The two, in partnership, formed the blueprints for what is now known as the modern-day carillon, although this was a much earlier version. The distinguishing difference between this carillon and its predecessors is the use of 12-tone equal temperament tuning. However, a major flaw quickly presented itself. It required an adequately trained person. This person had to play at weird times of day on a very precise schedule, and often with no backups. The need for automation quickly made itself present. In the early 1700s, clocks like these started springing up in various places around the world. These clocks took advantage of what is, in spirit, essentially a device that is a very large cam. These were, in fact, a form of pinned barrel with multiple tracks, each representing a different function, or in this case, musical note. People soon realized that these could not only be used to power bell towers, but instead pipe organs, pianos, and all sorts of various other instruments, automata, and other devices. At the same time, many of these instruments made their way to carnivals, dance halls, and skating rinks. In 1892, Anselmo Gavioli patented and invented a system that does not require extremely heavy barrels or overly precise and complicated pinned metal cylinders. This system comprises of a folded cardboard strip with holes punched in it to represent the various notes, functions, and registers of organs and automatical musical instruments. This method of mechanical data encryption and storage is inspired by the mechanical Swiss looms that use a very similar system, although to make patterns in clothing. Around this time, another system known as the paper roll was also invented. People familiar with player pianos may recognize this. Here is a demonstration of the system on a toy player piano. A downside to the system is the need to rewind at the end of a roll, which takes time. The main reason for companies resorting to using instruments that use this system is that they are much cheaper to manufacture and take up much less space to store, especially when multiple songs are used on one roll back to back. In the American side of the industry, rolls would later become the standard. Rolls are much easier to change than barrels, but still not as easy as books. To combat the issue of continuous music breaks whenever a song or roll finished, Wurlitzer invented the duplex roll frame around 1916. This meant that the organs equipped with this system could play continuous music, as while one roll was rewinding or being changed, the other one played. In Europe, however, book music was and is still the standard. With the rise of increasingly smaller microchips in the 70s and 80s, people wanted a standard way for digitized music to be able to be played on their organs, as it could be fit on an SD card or some other small device, and then the organs could be modified to play these. In 1983, this exact wish came true with the standardization of the MIDI file. It is a standard file that is still in use today in music production, mixing, and, well, of course, mechanical music. Since that period, many organs have been modified, equipped with, or even specifically built to play these music files. I fortunately so happen to have one of these. Here it is in action.